In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum to all. Welcome to Virtual Learning System of Pakistan International School Dive. Dear students, in previous lecture we discussed about Unit 7, Pollination and Fertilization. And today we are going to continue the same lesson or same unit, Pollination and Fertilization. So you all open your science books and come on page number 42. Students, all of you know that all living beings reproduce. Human, dog, plants. So all living beings have the ability to reproduce. Here we revise the structure of flower. First of all, you see this colorful part of flower called petal. The green leaf-like structure called sepal. That one called stamen, stigma, style, and ovary. Petal, sepal, stamen, stigma, style, and ovary. How do pollens reach the stigma? See, the pollen reaches the stigma and it moves downward with the help of style. Style is a long hollow tube. So pollen reach the stigma and move downward with the help of long hollow tube called style. Various ways of pollination. Students, you know that flowers have bright petals and strong fragrance that attract insects and other animals. See, flowers have bright petals and strong fragrance that attract insects and other animals. Here you see, because of bright petal and strong fragrance, insects attract towards the flower. Why the insects attract towards the flower? Because flowers have thin nutritious honey-like liquid called nectar inside them that act as food for many insects. Why the insects attract towards the flower? Because flowers have thin nutritious honey-like liquid called nectar inside them that act as food for many insects. So that's why insects and other kind of bees attract towards the flower. Here you see butterflies, bees and other insects feed on nectar. Butterflies, bees and many other insects feed on nectar. Various ways of pollination. This process of pollens reaching the sticky top of pistil is called pollination. See, this part of flower called seeds and that one called ovary. So this process of pollen reaching the sticky tops of pistil is called pollination. What is self-pollination? When pollens reach the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. When pollens reach the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. And other one is cross-pollination. When pollens reach the stigma of different flower of same kind, it is called cross-pollination. When pollens reach the stigma of a different flower of same kind, it is called cross-pollination. Self-pollination, when pollens reach the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. And when pollens reach the stigma of a different flower of same kind, it is called cross-pollination. How does the pollen grains reach the stigma? First of all, students, you must be know that pollen grains reach the stigma with the help of wind, water, or animals. And pollination occurs due to different agents like wind, insects, or animals. So wind, water, or animal act like an agent. If you observe, or you must be seen a honeybee sitting on flower, and in the absence of honeybee, the huge of sunflower goes down. Why? Honeybee of Honeybee a pollinator of sunflower. When it visits the flower, help of nectar carries pollen from one flower to another flower. Due to such pollination, the yield of sunflower increases. And in the absence of honeybee, pollination does not occur in sunflower. So the plants with bright, large, and colorful petals are pollinated by insects like the butterfly, which sits on the flower to suck the nectar, and this is a sweet juice produced by some flowers to attract pollinators. Some pollen grains get stuck to its legs, and when the same butterfly sits on same other flower, these pollen grains pass onto the stigma of that flower. A number of seeds have hooks that catch on the fur or feathers of animals. If the seeds drop onto the ground, they may grow. And pollination by wind, some flowers, such as those of grass and some large trees, do not have nectar or a strong scent, so they are unable to attract insects. Such flowers are pollinated by the wind. When the wind shakes the plant, the seed is scattered from it. Here you see seeds scattered when dry seeds pods burst. So here seed scatter when dry seeds pods burst. Pods burst. After here you see the agents of pollination, insects like bees, butterflies, and other kind of insects, etc., are the agents of pollination. Butterflies, bees, and insects are the agents of pollination. Birds and mammals pollinated some flower too. Here you see the pollination is also take place due to the birds and mammals also. The agents of pollination, wind also act as an agent of pollination. See, wind also act as an agent of pollination. Agents of pollination, insects pollination. When pollen grains are transferred by insects such as bees, butterflies, ants, and other insects from the anther of a flower to stigma of the same or another flower. So here the insects and bees act as an agent in the process of pollination. Water pollinated flower, see that one called water pollinated flower. Insects pollination, here this image show you the wind pollination, that one show you water pollination. So methods of pollination: insects, wind and water. Again here you see the image of pollination agent: wind, water, birds, insects and mammals, it means bat. Pollination, wind, water or animals carry pollens from one plant to another. So these are the agents of pollination. Here you see if any kind of bird take food from one flower and when it goes to another flower, so this bird act as an agent in pollination. That one also. Here you see the animal is also act as an agent in pollination. Here you see a number of seeds have hooks that catch on the fur or feathers of animals. A number of seeds have hooks. See, a number of seeds have hooks that catch on the fur or feathers of animal. So if the seeds drop onto the ground, so they may grow. Fertilization. How does fertilization take place? First of all, here they give you the 4 steps. Number 1, when the pollen grain has reached the stigma, it forms a tube inside the style. This tube is known as pollen tube. That one called pollen tube. This one, see, when this pollen go reach the stigma, after they make the tube, that one, they make a tube. In second step, in this pollen tube, the male cells of the flower which were enclosed in the pollen grain moves downward to the ovary. See, this pollen grains moves downwards to the ovary. In third step, they reach the ovary and join the ovule. See, they reach the ovary and join the ovule, which are the female cell of the flower. After in fourth step, when the male cell combine with the female cell to produce a new seeds, it is called fertilization. In step 1, the pollen grains lands on the stigma. After, the pollen tube starts to grow. Then in third step, it continue to grow downward. And then it reaches the ovary. And then the pollen grains in a male cell join the ovule female cell. And the ovary begins to change into fruit. The ovary begins change into fruits and ovule change into seeds. Again, here we repeat, when the pollen grains has reached the stigma, if the pollen grains land onto the stigma, it forms a tube inside the style. This tube is known as pollen tube. In this pollen tube, the male cells of the flower which were enclosed in the pollen grains move downwards to the ovary. They reach the ovary and join the ovules, which are the female cell of the flower. And when the male cell combines with the female cell to produce a new seed, it is called fertilization. So this process, with these 4 steps, is show you the process of fertilization. Here you see the process of pollens joining with the ovules present in the ovary is called fertilization. See, here you see pollens land on stigma, the tube grows down the style and enters the ovary. Fertilizes ovule, ovary swells as seed ripen. Again here you see pollen land on stigma, tube grows down the style and enters the ovary. Fertilizes ovule and ovary swells as seed ripen. So this image show you the process of fertilization. Again here you see the pollen reach the stigma, then see, so the pollen tube starts to grow, it continues to grow downwards, it reaches the ovary and the pollen grains join the ovule and the ovary begins to change into fruits. That one will also show you the process of fertilization. See, the tube of pollen tube starts to grow and it continue to grow downwards. It reaches the ovary and the pollen grains join the ovule, and then every fertilized ovule can develop into seeds. After the ovary begins to change into fruits. Mature pollen grains land on a stigma. The pollen tube starts to grow and it reaches to the ovary. The ovule change into seeds and then ovary fertilization. And then this every fertilized ovule can develop into seeds and ovary develop into fruits. This is a process of fertilization. After fertilization, ovary swells to form fruit. Students, I hope you understand this chapter very well. And now here, this is your homework. You draw a neat diagram of a flower and label the flowering parts in it. Which parts you label it? Sepal, petal, stigma, style, ovary, ovule, anther, and filament. After second one, draw a neat label diagram to show the process of self-pollination and cross-pollination. So this is your homework. I hope you understand today's topics, all the topics very well. Okay, students, best of luck.